Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Jules. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a commercial food photographer, stylist, cookbook author, and lifelong planner. And every single Saturday, we sit here for an hour and a half and we chat and we talk about things that are going on in our lives. Some of us plan, some of us do their journaling, some people do art, some people just listen to me yammer for an hour and a half while they get stuff done. If you are watching, come say hi in chat and let me know what you are working on. I am setting up my take a note A5. I think we're just calling it my note. A5, and I'm specifying A5 because I also have a B6. Um, but yeah, my weekly planner. I have a few notes. We're like in pre-order season. Last week I was going to tell you all until I came down with a migraine. I think that's why I canceled last week. Pretty sure it was a migraine. That I pre-ordered my Jibun Techo days. That comes with some interesting freebies this year if you order directly from Kokoyo's website. So I'm looking forward to when that arrives later on in the fall. And take a note, pre-orders are supposed to happen at the end of this month. Um, so I'm anticipating that the most because oh, I have other things I need to talk about. I've recorded it and I spent hours and hours creating. So, okay, I'm going to back up. So, when you are creating captions in Adobe Premiere Pro, first you create a transcript, and then from the transcript, it creates the captions. I had watched a video because I moved from Adobe to DaVinci Resolve. I think that's what it's called. I moved programs anyways. Their transcription is a lot better than Adobe's. And I watched a video or read some article or something, and I guess it was outdated, that said the same thing, that it was the same procedure. You transcribe first, and then you turn that transcribes into captions. Friends, that's not how you do it. It has a whole separate caption function. So I spent untold hours transcribing my planner chat video about why I jump system, only to find out the transcription is completely useless. I cannot use it for the captions. And to create the captions, I have to do the process all over again from the very beginning and listen to it and correct the very slight errors. It has much less errors. Like it's a quicker process than Adobe if you do it correctly from the first time. And I was so distraught. Like it was a week and a half ago that I went to like hit the button to turn the transcripts into a caption. And 10 hours of work wasted. And I'm just like, I almost cried. I almost cried. Like, what am I going to do with this now? I can't spend another 10 hours. This is the third time then it would have been, because I recorded the video twice. I transcribed it twice. What do I do? And so I've been mulling, like, do I just upload it, have Google's auto captions do a really cruddy job with it, and offer the transcription as a text file for people who are hard of hearing, to be able to read for the parts that Google really um, messes up, because there are certain words that Google just gets wrong, like Jibun Techo and Hobonichi and stuff like that. Or do I don't know. But I was just so distraught. I'm probably just going to upload it, apologize profusely, because there's a good about 20% of my viewers watch my videos with captions on. So it's not a small number. Like it's not like I could be like, oh, whatever. Like this is a significant portion of my audience makes use of the captions. And so there's a reason why I take the time to actually do proper captions and not the auto captions, because auto captions suck. Um, but it's this whole I don't want to let people down, especially as somebody who works in disability, accessibility world. I mean, my whole cookbook is all about making cooking accessible. And I'm a disabled person, even though captions aren't for me, but still, I want to be as accessible as possible. Um, but I was just so crestfallen, disheartened, upset with this whole thing that happened. I have spent probably 40 hours now on my planner chat video for nothing. For nothing. I mean, Anamik is saying hello. They're driving today, but they'll also be listening. Hello, Anamik. Yes, don't chat while you're driving, please. But glad to know you're listening. So, anyways, it was just so upsetting to spend all that time working on something for it to be completely not usable. I mean, the video is still usable. It's been now almost 2 months since I recorded it. So, anyways, but I had to get over that disappointment and just like I don't want to let my audience down. So my priority for this week, like it has been for the last since the beginning of January, is recipe development. Let me just write this in here. Recipe dev, recipe dev. If I don't write things down as I go, I find I make really ridiculous mistakes. And so I have to do it this way. So Wednesday's priority, I think, is video. So I guess what I'm going to do on Wednesday, yeah, I'm just going to finish editing my planner chat video and post it with a profuse apology that there aren't proper captions. Here's the transcript, because at least I can link a text file. The video is too long to like put the transcript in like the description part, but I can link to it to a OneDrive doc. And hopefully people will understand or will at least read the description enough to know that this was not intentional, but I spent over 40 hours on this video and then move on to editing. Like I wanted to record something this month and I just can't. So I have to edit my planner chat still. I have to edit my quarter two Techo Kaigi. Again, this is like 2 months ago that I recorded it, and some stuff has kind of changed. And then edit my health and fitness journal. So yeah, Wednesday and Thursday, at least that's this. But I also have to get a post up this week that I couldn't finish about how to figure out your macros and like what exactly do you need and macro math. It's very sciencey and math based, and I've been struggling with it because it's trying to make it easy and digestible information is hard for my bodybuilding rambling website and how to do nutrition or fitness and nutrition without diet culture. And one of these days, I should actually just keep a link to that website in my description, but I haven't yet. Anyways, so that was basically the highlights of the last 2 weeks since I had to cancel because of a headache, which I have again today. I don't know what it is. Oh, I know actually what it is. I can tell you what it is. I am my we finally figured out what my maintenance calories are. and I am maxed out. It's really high. And I'm maxed out for how much protein I can safely consume because I have um, finicky kidneys, is what we'll call them. They got injured. And so I have to be very careful. Like, normally, you don't have to worry about your protein intake. It doesn't damage your kidneys. But if you have pre existing kidney conditions, then you have to be careful with your protein intake. And so I've maxed out, and it's a lot of protein at my maxed out. And I've maxed out at my fats that I can do before my lipid profiles, even keeping my sat fats low, like below 10% of my total calories. So I have to fill everything else with carbs. The problem is I have reactive hypoglycemia, and I have to play this delicate balance between like carbs and fat and protein, and like the fat and the protein help stop the overproduction of insulin that happens when you have reactive hypoglycemia. And even with being maxed out at the fat and being maxed out at the protein, I am over 40% carbs, and it's just over 40% carbs is like 43%. But that extra 3% carbs, my body hates it. Absolutely is that social media creation? No, that's writing. 850. Hates it. And I've been having some really serious blood sugar crashes. Um, like if I stop working for like 2 minutes during the day, I instantly pass out because I my blood sugar is just tanked. And then I have these recurring headaches because of the um, reactive hypo reactive hypoglycemia. And it's just not been fun. And I don't know video edits. I'm going to make sure I um, know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And I'll just schedule it for Thursday. And you'll finally know why I planner hopped. And hopefully you all understand. It's been upsetting. I'm just gonna say say that. And yeah, I don't know what's more upsetting. Worry about the 20% of people who watch my videos with captions not getting what they need. Like that's upsetting. And also spending over 40 hours on, I think the video is half an hour long. Both times, both recordings of it, approximately half an hour, just over half an hour long. That's a lot. That's just very um it's just very upsetting. So for people who are new here, I color code different things because okay, so the last few weeks my brain has been tired and just dealing the extra carbs has made it very difficult for me to function. And so I have been at least been able to keep up on my planners for when I've changed from if everything goes my way, what I would like to do versus what actually happens. Um, but I color code things, so when it's done, let me see if I can find. It's been a long time since I've been able in my planners. Um, I can see at a glance once my day is done how I've spent my time, and it's easier for my brain. And then I have like a whole um, is the word legend? I color code, yeah, legend. I like this week too. This was really nice. I have a whole legend of each color, each type of task group has a specific color, and it just helps my brain see things. Because when it is just black and white, whereas this week I didn't, well, maybe it was the week before. There was one week where I didn't color. Yeah, this week this is like nonsense to me. I don't know how people can plan like this. Like, I have no idea what's happening. It all bleeds into each other versus, and I just don't know what I did these weeks versus when everything's colored in, I can see very quickly, just by even looking at the colors, how I spent my week. And it's helpful for me when it comes to figuring out work tasks, how long it actually takes me to do something. So when I'm trying like bidding on a job or scheduling out, like how much time is it going to take me to write a 2,000 word post? As an example, I have when I'm actually doing it, I have to do some backfilling this week. I have like how many words I was able to write in a day, and I can see, oh, I can't see here because I didn't write it in. This is all writing. I have it in my other journal. I can see, like, okay, so I wrote for this many hours that day, and this is how many words I wrote. I'm able to see, okay, I need to set aside this much time to be able to do this task efficiently. So yeah, it works for me, personal time. So this is breakfast. Actually, I'm before I continue on, I'm gonna fill in these sections. So dog food making is on Monday. I have grocery delivery on Monday. Um, so this first top section is my priority for the week. I work on a system where I figure out um, if I have all the energy in the world, this is the first thing I have to get done every single week, no matter what. And then anything that gets done after that is gravy. And then under that, I have a priority for the day. So recipe development is the high priority for Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, my priority is working on the video. And then anything after that is gravy. And then this next section, I write down like things that are happening that day and deadlines and stuff that I need to remember. So I have like grocery delivery, I have deliveries happening on Wednesday. I don't have any deadlines. Oh, I do have a deadline on Thursday. So that will go um, on this. So, anyways, deadlines and things that are happening that day that I need to remember. And then it is how I spend my time. This last section is like things that happen that day that I want to remember. So, um, if I got a pass from an editor, because I'm out on submission right now for a piece of fiction, if something was delivered that I'm really excited about, that goes here. If I had a headache, that also goes here as well in my health and fitness journals. Just other things that happen during the day that I want to look back on. And then this bottom section is I evaluate how much energy I have when I start my workday at lunch and then when I end my workday. And my goal is to always end with at least one spoonful of energy on a scale of 10. And lately, I've been waking up at fours. I had this whole period where I was waking up at fives. And then as soon as I figured out my main, no, I had a five last week. But yeah, Saturday it was. Oh yeah, I had nightmares too. That was another thing that happened last week. They were some wild nightmares. And no, I didn't put that here, but I did put it in my health and fitness. Wild, wild nightmares. Holy cow, they were something else. So grocery delivery happening. Milk delivery is on Wednesday. I'm not even gonna say what they were. They were disturbing, and it was one of those nights where you wake up from your nightmare, and like I'm screaming in my sleep, like I'm aware I have very lucid dreams, and I'm screaming at myself to wake up, Jules, wake up. So I wake up, like, oh, that was bad, that was bad, and then I go back to sleep, and I would just have another nightmare. It was that all night, screaming at myself in my dreams to wake up, waking up in an absolute terror, and then going back to sleep for some new type of horror to begin. It was not fun. It was a horrible, horrible, and then the headache on top of it. Um, HelloFresh delivery. I do not recommend. I do not love that for myself, and I would not love it for anyone, not even my worst enemy. Okay, HelloFresh delivery. That's on Wednesday. Okay, now continuing on with this color. Oh, so we finished watching Murder at the End of the World. Do not recommend. It's not horrible, but it's not great. You know, there's like a saying in acting, especially for television, less is more. Like when you are on theater, you need to emote big and whatever because you need to reach the person at the very back of the theater. For television, less is more. And the director could have given the one actor in particular a note that less is more, because I mean, at some points they were straining to the point where I thought maybe, like, I don't even know how to, like, they were trying to be pained or stressed out, some emotion that made them look like they were constipated. And that's like and like the first episode, I'm like, oh, I kind of like this weird person. I'm gonna like they're kind of like morose and freaky and not they're a little weird, like weird in the good way. I think I'm gonna like them. And in the second episode, I'm like, no, someone needs to like. In the flashbacks for this character, they were good. They were less. In the present times for this character, they were way too much. Like it was, and it was sometimes such whiplash because there were some episodes where it would like have a flashback. Anyways, do not recommend unless you really have nothing else to watch and you need something to watch while you're like doing an arts and crafts or filling out your journal or something. Like it's one of those shows that you don't need to pay super close attention to, and it's good to have in the background, but don't set aside like dedicated viewing time for it. I guess that's the best way for me to um, oh, my break. Forgot my lunch. It's my best way to describe that one. And then I was supposed to move on to watching it's on CBC Gem, so I don't know if you can watch it in the US, to Belgravia. Was that what I had? And then I decided no. I have I'm wanting to game. I got my Asus Rogue Ally X. And so I've been having Nip Tuck. I'm doing a rewatch of Nip Tuck in the background while I either plan my meal planning or gaming in the evening is what I've been doing. And let me tell you a thing that is no dot Jules, but it is so extremely obvious when you're watching a show like Nip Tuck, which is all about, well, not all about, but part of it is about vanity and unrealistic beauty expectations and what passed. And I know male, okay, I'm going to qualify this with American male beauty standards because the beauty standards in Canada and in Europe for men have remained unchanged. In America, unless you're like 8% body fat and ripped, muscular, you're not going to get a role where you're considered the handsome leading man um, in the US. And a lot of American actors who play those roles are taking a little bit of hormonal help to be able to have that physique. And they're also eating really unhealthy diets and a whole like diet culture among men and eating disorders, disordered eating has exploded because of these changes. Anyways, watching Nip Tuck. I knew all of this was happening. It's one of the reasons why I have my bodybuilding site and talking about it is because I absolutely eat all the junk foods. They're not junk foods. I even hate calling them fun foods, but I have to call them something for people to understand. But yeah, it's just so 20 years, Nip Tuck is 20 years old, just how unrealistic the male body standard has become in North American, I should say, um, film and television in the last 20 years. And it's just wild. Absolutely wild. Okay, so exercise, um, because the men that are considered hot and fit on Nip Tuck would never, ever play those same roles today. Like if Nip Tuck were to have a remake, it would be the women's bodies would be exactly the same. The men's bodies would not. Wild. Exercise, spin. I had somewhat that experience while watching Baywatch, but near the end of the Baywatch television, like they slowly started to change the male body standards. Um, so it wasn't as like I noticed it as was happening. I made mental notes of it, but it wasn't as shocking, not obvious in your face. Weights plus cardio as when watching Nip Tuck because those body standards for the men don't change at all throughout the series. Okay, so next I have admin time, and that color is, oh no. Hopefully I just did that and I didn't ruin that color. This is 910. So what else has happened in the last 2 weeks? Oh yeah, we're supposed to start watching The Regime, and we switched that to starting to watch Fallout. We're gonna watch Regime after Fallout. Regime is a little bit, it's weird. Like it's kooky, and I like kooky, but my brain's not there right now. So we're watching Regime, or I mean Fallout, which is weird and kooky in a completely different way, and it's really interesting because I am familiar with the free Fallout game that you get on like Nintendo and Xbox, and and it's on Windows. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be on the other. Maybe it won't be on PlayStation. I don't know. But if it's on Nintendo, I'm gonna assume it's on PlayStation, where you are in the vaults. Um, admin, and I'm familiar with that, and I've played that. So the vault part of it, I'm really into, and I know that. And then Andrew, they're only familiar with the playing in the outside world. And so they understand that part of the show and are completely lost about the nuances of the other show. And I like it, but I feel they are over catering to Fallout fans. I feel like you have to have a certain, like you have to have played Fallout across all the different parts of the franchise to understand it. Unlike other things, like you don't have to have appreciated the comic books to understand a Marvel movie. You don't have to have watched the Star Trek series to appreciate a Star Trek movie. Um, what else? Like most other things that you watch that are based off of other properties, you don't have to have consumed that property to enjoy the movie or the television show. And I feel Fallout, as good as it is and as much as we're enjoying it, you have to have continuing ed and prep a certain amount of experience with the video games to fully understand it or to like it. I think somebody who has zero familiarity with the gaming franchise will even understand what is going on because they don't really provide any type of world building beyond nuclear disaster happen and we're 200 years in the future. And there's, yeah, it's very, like, I'm really confused about a lot of the things that happen to the outside of the vaults because I have no familiarity with that world where anytime that there's stuff happening in the vault, I'm like, oh, this is great. And these characters look like the characters in the game, or these actors look like the characters in the game. And this is hilarious, and I love this. It's not this when they leave the vault, I'm confused. So yeah, I'm it's good, but I'm not sure I would recommend it to somebody who is not familiar with the Fallout games. And if anybody who's watching this later would like to has their own opinions on that, I am interested to hear them. 442, because I mean, other people who are not at all familiar with the Fallout games may have watched it and not have any problem following along, and it could possibly be a Jules problem and not a problem with the world building and how they developed the show. Um, Journal, that's right. Journal, journal. Writing time. My write-in is on Wednesday. Okay, good. I did not screw up this marker. Felt? I was going to call it a felt pen. Who does that? That just showed my age. By calling it a felt pen, I think I just showed my age. Or maybe my bilingualism, because it is felt pen in French. Um, and so a lot of the English words that I use are because I was primarily educated in French. Okay, I'm going to do my to-do list before moving on to filling in my exercise or my TV watching stuff. Okay, so I want to edit, finish editing, and schedule my planner chat. And then edit my Techo Kaigi. And let's see if I can do it properly this time and not waste. But it seems so out, like it's been like 2 months. Does anyone care? I mean, it's almost time for me to record the next one. I don't know. I might like just skip it all together and then recipe dev and be like, sorry, there's been a lot of change. Oh, another thing, I'm so excited. Yeah, I think I already take a note. Pre-orders are happening soon. I can't wait. The only thing I wish like Take a Note started had a couple like at least had December. They have like the extra 3 months of this calendar, but they start like right January. And if January doesn't start on a Monday, like they have like the couple ending days of December, but there's no extra time in the Take a Note. And I kind of like to have that month overlap. So on Monday, oh, so I have to do an orange filling. Oh yeah, the orange tart. Oh, orange filling on Monday. I actually don't. I was supposed to make a puff pastry, but I made a puff pastry the other day and it takes way too long. And this one, like, so for the potat, which is it's an Indonesian egg tart, I think. I think it's Indian. It's an egg tart for sure. The country of origin, hmm, um, I could be wrong with Indonesia, but part of the appeal of it is that you make the puff pastry such that underneath the bottom of the tart has like a spiral. And so for that, you kind of have to make the puff pastry and it takes hours. Hours. And I understand, but for this one, there's no need for, this is for a milk tart. The puff pastry is just a pastry type. And I was going to make one because I do have to have a scratch from scratch in the cookbook, but this week I've decided, you know what? I am cheating. And I'm going to do what most people are going to do anyways. And I bought frozen um, puff pastry. So this can be eliminated. So the orange tart dough, also on Monday. Um, because I decided, nope, this week I'm not going through that process. So I'm making an orange tart and I'm making a milk tart. Milk tart is how it's so there I made one last week and it's white. So there's two types of milk tarts from different African countries. The one that I made this past week is white. There's no egg yolk in it whatsoever. And then the one that I'm making this week is one that most people would maybe be familiar with, and it's more of a custard base, and it has egg yolk in it, and it's a yellow one. So and I'm looking forward to it because I haven't had a custard. It's still milk, but yeah, so there's white, and it also has meringue in it. Anyways, they're so good. But I'm looking forward to this and then milk tart this week and just comparing the white one versus the yellow one, and then the peach tart, which is so good, um, which has sour cream in it as well. It's kind of like a cheesecake without cheese, with whole peaches in it, and a really crumbly crust. Like the dough for the crust, it starts off in like a cornmeal consistency, and you press it. It's not like a regular dough, so it's like cornmeal consistency. You press it in the tart. No blind baking. Well, they're kind of blind baking because first you caramelize the peaches. Well, in the tart pan with the pressed in crust. It's kind of like a cheesecake crust, but with flour and not like graham crackers. So you do that. You caramelize. You sprinkle the peaches with cinnamon and sugar. You caramelize it. You take it out. You pour over the sour cream mix, and fill in the gaps of the tart pan with the sour cream mix, and then you bake it again to form like the. Anyways, it's so good. It's so good. And I'm looking forward to that in the end of the week. Okay, television. 89, I'm looking for. Lots of time. I'm zipping by. Is this 89? Yes, it is. So, go listen. What else is going on? Oh, I wanted to update this last week, but couldn't. So, Archer is not having a second surgery this year. Well, not yet. I should I should asterisk that with not yet. So people who do not know, we have two beagles, Archer and Ziggy, and both of them are prone to hair follicle tumors. They're not cancer. The technical term for them are sebaceous cysts, and they have a habit of erupting. Um, Sometimes they just grow really slowly, and we have time to deal with them, but they've each had surgery for them a few times. And other times this year has been three emergency visits because they have like appeared and then within days erupted. That happened to Archer. But after treatments for it and draining it and whatever, like it's still there, but it's stable in size. And so, because it is stable in size and he's eating and he's happy and he's not affected for it now that it's burst, we are taking a watch and see approach where, yeah, just watch and see. If it starts to get bigger again, then we need to phone the vet and um, book him for surgery. But since he already had surgery once this year and they're now officially senior dogs, um, anything that we can do to not have surgery, aside from the whole cost issue, because this isn't something the dogs can't, because they have pre-existing conditions, insurance won't pay for it. You have to go 18 months without needing treatment for this, and they've never had 18 months without this condition. So it doesn't qualify for surgery or for insurance coverage. So it's these dogs have been really expensive. Nip Tuck, we love them to pieces. Um, but yeah, it's just nice that we don't need to have another. I gotta see how many episodes of Fallout are left. Don't need another surgery. Thank goodness. Because we were not. I mean, the emergency vet bill and the follow up are expensive enough. Okay, so 8. So we started watching this. Oh, really? So 3 episodes we've watched already? Fascinating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll be done Fallout on. I'm just gonna put this in here on Wednesday. Oh yeah, last week tonight, and then last week tonight. Oh, sorry, my head's in there. And then Fallout. Then what I'm gonna watch afterwards. I'm gonna have to grab my other. Oh yeah, we're gonna go back to the regime. That was a ridiculous question for me to ask. We started watching the first episode of Regime, but we were both really super exhausted that night, and we had to turn it off because we were both, Andrew more so than me, falling asleep during it. And I had thought, because it's kind of, it's like it's bizarre and obscure. I don't think Regime is weird. Like it's the type of weird that is not necessarily going to work for everyone. Um, it's my type of weird, but I thought even before Andrew was falling asleep while we were watching it that they were not enjoying it. And so that's like I just switched one night to Fallout, and they thought we were watching Regime still, and they were really confused at the beginning, like, what is going on? This seems like a totally different show. Well, because it was a totally different show. Um, but they said they were enjoying it. I'm like, you didn't seem like it. And it's like, 'cause I was falling asleep. So that's why we switched. Okay, so, oh, wait, no. This needs to be this color as well. And it's only 6 episodes. So, yeah. But Kate Blanchett, who doesn't want to watch, or not Kate Blanchett, Kate Winslow, who doesn't want to watch her on screen? She's amazing. Priority, I don't know why I looked, but I know what it is. Priority recipe dev. And dog food making days will be Thursday and Sunday. Recipe dev. Next, video making. What is that, 800? What color am I doing in September? Oh, autumnish. Yes, 850. Social media creation. So that is Thursday. Seems like wrong all of a sudden. It looks more orange than pink for some reason to my eyes. Maybe because my eyes are a little tired. What else is going on? And then plan with me down here. Um, right here. Nope, here. Yeah, that's the right time. Okay. Um, video edit. Wouldn't it be amazing if I was able? I doubt I will, but it would be great if I was able to like start editing my health and fitness journal, my new one, because every time I use my new health and fitness journal after I finished like ran out of room in my first one in the Hobonichi weeks, it's so good. It is so good now because yeah. I don't want to spoil it. Plan with me because there's more things in it than just health and fitness now that are health and fitness related. Oh, but I'm just so happy with it. Okay, deadline on Thursday. So on Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon in my write-in, I need to finish this post. And then this is deadline. Let me write in my deadlines before I continue. So macro post needs to be posted on that day, and then um, milk order deadline and HelloFresh deadline to change that order. Though I won't because the meals are already in my meal planner. And to change it is a pain in the butt. So it is done. Okay, Sunday. Oh, that's the wrong color. Is this N75? Yes. I have to buy another N75. Only because, I mean, it took what? 2 years for me to run through my other one, and I use it quite a bit. But because this is one of my main colors, I think it's like part of the mentality of being poor for so long, like chronically poor growing up, and much of my adulthood is that I have to have stuff in stock, and I'm terrified of running out. And it's just one of those things of I need to have a backup, because what if Archer gets his mouth on it because I, in my carelessness, left it out instead of putting it away. Because he likes us. I don't know what it is about these markers, but if he can get his mouth on it, he's gonna eat it. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Um, and so it's just one of those things where I need a backup. And it's just, where do I order it from? Because ordering them singularly, is that how you say it? Like one of them instead of a whole, like in a set, it's pretty expensive. They're like $5 a piece. But then again, they last years. So it may seem expensive, but it lasts freaking years. But also, we're depending on where I order it from. Like, I think I can buy as a single on Amazon. They don't have a full range, but there are some that I can buy from Amazon Canada. But there is a arts and crafts supply online retailer, artists thing that I can buy sealers from, and they have the full range of colors. Okay, so my break, 1:30. There's a few others that I think that was messy, that one. I think it's time to have a backup on hand just in case. Oh, come on. Why can't I all of a sudden stay in the lines? That's weird. Let me move it over here. What else is going on? Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I want to talk about it or not. I don't know. I don't know. There's a few people from Canada who watch this. I'm just going to say that please do not get angry with either CN or CP rail workers over the next little while. The rail companies are trying to impose a contract on conductors and on um, engineers, and it's a really, really bad contract that would um, severely compromise the health and safety of rail workers and would cause more horrific accidents like the one that we experienced in Quebec in 2013. Just trust me when I tell you. So my oldest is a conductor for CN, and he just finished his engineer training. So he's also now certified as an engineer. He's undecided if he wants to start working as an engineer yet, but anyways, he's certified for both now. So um, I know about this, like the accidents that the fact he's still alive. Like there are people who park on the tracks for poops and giggles, and they like play chicken with trains all the time. There are people who play chicken with trains all the time, and they lose. And my child has sent me images of what happens when his train wins and the car loses. And let me just tell you, as a parent, these are not images that you like getting in text messages. He he warns me ahead of time. It's not like he's just sending me images of. I'm just saying that's like the least dangerous part of his job is the fact there are people who routinely play chicken with trains. I don't know. Whatever. So that's just one aspect. And so you need to be alert and ready. And the rail people trying to make them work 16 hours a day is not safe because they have to, the minimum, let's not talk about the dangerous cargo they have to hold. Okay, so I'm going to stop ranting about that. Anyways, do not believe CP, like they've colluded through this whole process. They tried to have, before any of this started, they refused to come to the negotiation table with the union, and they asked the government basically to impose binding arbitration, which means taking away the bargaining rights, which is protected by the Canadian Constitution, by our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, away from rail workers. And the government repeatedly has said no. We respect the Constitution and the right for workers to come to a collective bargaining, to have access to the collective bargaining process. You need to bargain. Hello, Solange. It's nice to see you. You need to bargain. You need to show up at the bargaining table. Instead of showing up to the bargaining table, what has happened is that CP and CN have first decided to embargo to stop um, transporting any goods and services into Canada coming from the US. Clothing, medical supplies, a whole bunch of stuff. They started this embargo on the 15th to choke Canada's supply chain. And then on the 22nd, which is 5 days away, they are locking out workers unless the workers agree to binding arbitration instead of the collective bargaining process. Rightfully, the workers are saying no. Um, Soon there's going to be a whole bunch of ad campaigns coming out in CN, and they've tried to do this every single time in CP, to make it look like the rail workers are the bad guys here, bad people. when they're not. So I'm just saying, anybody in Canada, yes, all is good with me. Is everything good with you? Um, Anybody watching this who lives in Canada, I don't. This is not affecting American rail workers. I don't think, even though CP is owns now part of a big, huge part of, like that's now CPKC, um, a big part of an American rail system. Anyways, so what's happened also, yeah, wheat starts moving at the end of August, and that is why they have picked August 22nd as the lockout date, because that is when wheat starts to get transported across Canada. So they're being really evil. Oh, that's when deload starts. I should not have gone down that far. That's fine. That's fine. Um, so yeah, that's happening. And every time I get a text breakfast from my oldest with updates on this whole situation, I get blind with rage because you know what? I don't want my oldest to die on the job. And people need to understand what rail workers do is really, really dangerous. Um, Break. My oldest also transports hazardous goods a lot. You do not want him tired while he's doing his job. 100% do not want him tired. You want him rested. You really do. Because we don't need another big, huge train explosion in this country. Well, it's carrying oil and stuff like that. So that's another thing that's going on in my life right now, is worrying about my child's. What do you call an adult child? I mean, he's going to be 29 in September, but he's still my child. So exercise. So yeah, that's been going on. Weights plus spin. What else has been going on? I've started another um, round spin of the nuclear option for my autoimmune stuff, because even after my third dose, it's been a month and a bit of my third dose of my biologic, it's just not clearing up in a few spots and it's been really, really painful and waking me up. I didn't shave my head this time. I'm like doing spot treatment, hoping that even just a little bit of exercise, hoping just a little bit of the extra medication on top of my weights plus cardio, on top of my biologic, will be enough to put the last of it into remission. Exercise, deload, plus cardio. So we'll see how that goes. I started that a couple days ago. So I have to 2 weeks, stop it, and we'll see what happens after that 2 weeks. Whether or not, is this the right one? It is, 910. Whether or not that is enough to push it into remission. Because it's 95% in remission. The 5% that's not in remission, it's really painful. And it's interfering with my sleep. And um, I just really want to sleep. I used to, so like Fitbit has like a your sleep an animal. It basically tells you what type of sleeper you are. Um, and for the longest time, I was a bear. I fell asleep hard, and I slept hard, and I slept a really good, fair amount of time every single night. And since my flare got really, really bad, I've turned into a giraffe. And a giraffe isn't necessarily bad. It's just, but giraffes don't sleep long. They fall asleep well. I fall asleep well. I don't sleep long. Um, and it's really interfering. I think I would have much better. I mean, you do. Um, your cortisol levels go down. Like sleep's important, and I'm not getting enough. And so, and the nuclear option involves extra cortisol. Having extra cortisol. Um, it is, yeah, so it's one of those catch-22s where I'm having to take cortisol to stop the thing that is currently producing extra cortisol and just messing with stuff. Continuing and prep. I'm not going to mention medication specifics for reasons for people who don't know. I don't talk about medication names because I don't want you to go talk to your doctor to find out if X is right for you, as the American medication companies like to tell people. That's not for me to advertise. Okay, advertisement's not the right word, but you know what I mean. I'm not here trying to sell a treatment option or a health supplement or whatever. Shoot. Did I go? Oh, I did go over. Oh gosh. Okay, I did. Okay, that goes here. Mm, I can fix it on the other side. So here is where that goes. That's fine. I will still be rewatching Nip Tuck. What? And then I have to fix that down here too. What else is going on? So what's out? What's new with you, Solange? Did you work today? Pretty sure you work on the weekends, yeah? I know your work schedule has decreased. What else is going on? You're really not much aside from writing 2 cookbooks, still being out on submission. Oh, so I've had a couple more passes this past week. So when did we round? Well, I went on round two. It's not really round two because there's still editors from the first round that still have the book. We're doing like a rotating round two on the 17th. So yeah, it's been a month, and we've already had a couple passes, which is awesome. But every time that pass happens, there have now been people who have had my book for 7 months. And so every time a pass happens, I'm like, the people who have had my book for 7 months better be having meetings about it because that's an awfully long time, especially because round one, there was like half of the people who passed fairly quickly. So I have to assume everyone who in round one has read my book. Please, why have you not just said it's not for you and it doesn't fit with our house? Like, just pull off the band-aid already, please. And let me move on to being able to, for my edit or for my agent to be able to submit it to more editors. Solange has been, yeah, they were working today. Now you've been invited to a crayfish party? Interesting. I don't think we're allowed to eat crayfish here. Do you call them? So we call them crayfish. I know other people call them. So yeah, we call them crayfish in Canada. I know in America there's lots of different names for them for crayfish, and I'm not even going to pretend that I know them all. But every time, and they're spelt differently too in America. Then like that's yeah. So that's Nip Tuck. I have never been to one, and we have freshwater crayfish in the river that runs through our town. Um, Freshwater crayfish is a thing, but I don't think we're allowed to eat them. So I have never had a crayfish. I've had lobster, I've had crab, and I've like crabbed locally. We have crab in our ocean, And I've done, like, as a child, we used to trap our own crabs for food. A lot of fishing for our food growing up. Salmon, trout, and crab being the main ones that we would acquire ourselves. Yeah, so I've never had crayfish. Why not? I don't know. I don't think. I think maybe I'm gonna look it up. Can we eat our crayfish in BC? Can we eat? It's not even sold in stores. Crayfish, BC. So you can. Island Fisheries. In BC, you may catch crayfish for personal consumption using any number of size or traps, but you must release all fin fish caught in the trap. So that's like the others. Normally, so our lake is a salmon spawning lake, so you cannot. Yeah, so that would probably be what they're worried about. You may be as managed as you want, because there are no rules or boundaries for what defines a crayfish trap. I need to open up. So this is interesting. So trapping crayfish by hand, because we used to trap them all the time. I mean, that was my favorite thing that you do, is that you go to one of the reasons why the whole purpose of going to the river in the summer is to pick up rocks and find the crayfish underneath. We never ate them. Best time of year to catch crayfish on Vancouver Island, April through October. Yeah, it's the summers. Like our whole entire summer, especially as a kid, is catching minnows, and you have to release them, and catching crayfish from underneath the rocks. Fascinating. I'm going to have to, even though I'm allergic, I'm going to have to do that one day. Is catch, go to the river. It's like right around the corner, basically, and have some crayfish. Unless you're asking why not about something else. But yeah, never had it. And I should fix that now that I know that I could absolutely be eating the crayfish from the river. I'm going to go on this side. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover that over. Bizarre. Why even is that now? Now I have no one to ask from adults from my childhood. Like, why didn't we eat crayfish? We caught plenty of them. It was like a catch and release thing. Um, so regime is what we'll be going back to on Thursday. What time is it? Oh, I got lots of time. I don't even know what my color is for this week. I have not colored in anything. I might do some. Oops. Okay, why is this not working? Probably because it's still too wet. Solange is saying in August we catch and eat as many for a feast meal. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just trying to think when. I mean, we're out of school all of July and all of August. So that's when, I mean, growing up, we lived in the river basically. Like our whole entire days were spent either at the lake, which is like 20 minutes from here, and that's where I lived actually, um, or on the river. Swimming on the river is preferable for some reason than swimming at the lake. That's where all the tourists are, so we would swim on the river because, like it was quiet, and either place we would catch. I mean, yeah, our whole entire, so July and August is peak crayfish season. Okay, so this is done. Let me see if I can figure out what the color for this week is. This is let me do some counting. So 1, 2, 3. So we're in the fourth week. So the fourth color for August. We're in August, right? So 533. Don't even know what. Don't even know what month we are right now, and I can't believe August is almost over. Did I just say 533? I think so. So 533 is this. At some point, I will absolutely. No, I won't absolutely. I say that all the time, and I'm just. But you cheat and buy them, so you can't. They're not sold at the store, which is the thing I don't understand. I have never walked into the store and seen crayfish. There's lots of crab. There's salmon. There's tilapia. I mean, we have lots of fish, and we have crab. Have I ever tried eating fermented herring? Yes. I love herring. I love sardines. Oh, sardines or herring with so mixed with mayonnaise and chopped dill pickles on toast is one of my absolute favorite snacks, meals, lunch, whatever. I mean, I have to buy more for snacking and for lunches. Because, but right now it's kind of expensive for some reason, so I've been backing off from canned fish, and you can't get fresh herring here. The only way to get herring is canned because it's all imported. But yeah, I love fermented herring. I love pickled herring. I love sardines with pickles and toast. It is some of my favorite. And when I tell people this, they're like, "Ew," and I'm like, "No, you need to try it. It is absolutely delicious." And I don't know why I grew up eating those things because apparently, what is this, 569? The fact that was a regular part of my diet growing up is weird. And I don't, it's probably because I am, what did I say, 569? Um, Only second generation Canadian on both sides of my family. And I grew up in very heavily multicultural environments. And did not eat white people food or North American food growing up. I like a lot of people I grew up with were Scandinavian and Eastern European and Punjabi. So, and then one of my grandparents, and then part of my grandparents were Russian, and then I had German grandmother, and like she came to Canada in the 50s. And so that was the food that I mean, my mom's side is all British, but we rarely ate the British food. It was like Sunday was the only day of the week that we ate English food. The rest of the time, we were eating everything else, especially going over to friends' houses and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that well, no, it was my dad. My German grandmother is the reason why I had sardines with pickles on toast. But I'm assuming that her coming here from Germany, there has to be some Scandinavian influence there because I don't think that's typically a German diet thing, but it's definitely not English. And a lot of North American food is based off of English Europe, but that's not how I grew up. But yeah, everyone just they still when I tell people that's one of my favorite foods, they don't understand. Wow, I'm like it just is. Oh, now I'm so hungry, Solange. I feel like I need to like DoorDash some sardines. I don't even have pickles in the fridge right now. Oh, because of the sodium, I've been trying to keep high sodium things out of the house because my blood pressure, even with my blood pressure medication, has been 910, which is this one, has not been favorable. And so I've been really mindful to keep my sodium intake under 20, 2.5 grams a day, 250 to 2,500 grams. Because anything over that is when I retain water in my blood. It's okay. Don't apologize. I mean, I talk about food all the time and when I'm baking. It's only fair. It's only fair that you get me hungry talking about one of my favorite things to eat ever. But I definitely have to make room in my meal plan for some higher sodium days and put up with a higher blood pressure just to have, because it's so good for you if it wasn't for the salt. 947. But yeah, I just need to have some days where it's not cheating. That's like a legitimate health thing that I have to worry about. Oh, especially with my sideways kidneys. If my kidneys weren't grumpy, I would not care about my sodium intake at all. But because my once my if my kidneys get grumpy, then my blood pressure goes up, and then it just everything falls apart. And we don't need my body falling apart more than it already does. So these are all like, eh, I'm not doing it because I'm health conscious. I'm in a diet way. I'm doing it because if I don't, my body falls apart. But I need to make room for it. What else I can do? I have, oh, it's brown and okay. I do have lots of washi tape that I can use in that area. That's not one of them. Let me bring out my, oh no, I just dropped it on the floor and it's all over the place. Putting this up on the shelf, I missed the shelf and it fell on the floor. Okay, so I am looking for like orange washi, brown washi. That would work. It's the wrong brown though, but I haven't used that. I have used the stars. It's like I want an orangey brown. That is more it. So this is butterfly specimen. Let's see if I can get that easily. Let's plant atlas. Hold on. Let me trying to find footprint plant. Sorry, I'm in a box full of washi tapes. Monologue. Where is it? Oh, it's up there. Watch it be up here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yep, this is it. Knocking everything off my shelves trying to reach for stuff. I'm wanting this one. And if this isn't the right one, after all of that, it is. It is, it is, it is. Bingo. That's a great match. And oh, this is gonna be an interesting. I can do top and then I can turn it around for underneath. Have like put this back here. Curtain effect. No, it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. It might make sense in a minute. Or it might not. Seriously. I'm so hungry now. I'm having a Greek salad with chicken. Well, it's not really a Greek salad because there's spinach in it, and Greeks, you can't really call it a Greek salad if there's spinach in it. But it's a Greek inspired salad with chicken. I think I'm having chicken tenders instead of the full breast. Okay, that looks good. That's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Satisfying. I haven't been able to add these little deco. Just really hoping things settle down enough in September where by the time I missed a whole section. By the time my journaling time happens at night, or at the end of my workday, I'm just not so exhausted. Like I've been doing the bare minimum of writing stuff in, but I haven't been doing any decorating because I've just been so wiped out. My body's working too hard. Okay, now turn this upside down. Feels weird. Having such a blank space, I gotta figure out what to do because it takes me on days that I'm cooking my lunch for the next 4 days. I need more break time, but then the deco doesn't quite fit with it. I still have a few more minutes so I can see if I have anything so I can put here to cover that in. That's of the right color. Oh, maybe not. Is this the right purple? Is it close enough? It might be close enough. Let me see. I like these splashes. No, it's a little bit not close enough. It's too much of a different wheat color. Normally not that overly picky. But this time I like it to be, okay, stop. This might work, but this is more of a ribbon. It's the right color, but it's the wrong orientation. I mean, this is great for a border of a page, but it's not, that's not right. Could do this and the other side upside down. No, that's not right. That would be a no. There's no, this is all blue. That's not gonna be it. I wonder. Doubt I'm gonna be successful. Because when I did my last supply shop, I didn't properly account for all the colors that I need. Because I just didn't. I didn't do as meticulous of a job as I should have. Oh, wait. No, that's the wrong color. Maybe this? Nope, wrong color. This is ridiculous. I don't know if that's gonna work. Like I bought that washi tape specifically, I mean, that's close. You know what? I think that's not it. That's not really it either. Never mind. I may just have to do close enough and not stress it out. I think I'm just going to do close enough. Or at least, I wonder if there's any in here that I can kind of isolate. Because it changes throughout. Then it goes to black. Okay, so this is where I run out. No, that will bug me. I don't mean to be so indecisive, but it's not close enough where it's not going to bother me if I were to do that. And that's blue. Yeah, these are all blue. I really did not. I wonder if I have anything in here. I doubt I do. These were freebies given to me when I ordered a take a note from. Oh, wait a minute. That. No, wrong color. Wrong color. That's not going to do it. I could be a rebel and do something orange, the complementary color. Let me just look in here. Because it is like on the cusp. It's like a corn blue. I might actually have something in here that fits the bill. But this is most of it the wrong blue. I normally pick out all this stuff before my stream, but I didn't think because the last few weeks I haven't gotten this far in. We've had to end before I finished doing all the decorating, so I didn't bother pre-selecting any of this because it's like I'm not going to have time. There's nothing in here that's going to work. Oh, this is like so. Don't want to go orange. It's not depressing. But really, I didn't want to have to do any more shopping for supplies. And it's just disheartening to me that I did not do a better job. No, that's the wrong purple. Selecting things when I did my last supply shop. I have a lot of greens and regular blues. Let's see. Yeah, I just don't have the right color. Well, that's too bad. And with that, because it is now like 2 minutes to ending, we're going to end things here then. And I will figure out what I'm going to cover this with it sometime during the week if I find time to do that. Thank you, Solange, for joining us. Thank you, Anamik, for listening while you are in your vehicle. Thank you for not talking while you're in your vehicle, even more. Um, Join me again on next Saturday. Oh, yeah, if I can get over my disappointment in myself for, I think that goes in here, for screwing up the whole transcript process, I will have finally my planner chat about why I planner hopped. That will go up on Thursday, if all goes according to my new plan. Otherwise, join me next. Oh yeah, like this video. because it helps other people find it with the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and that notification bell so you know when I go live and new videos go up. And join me next Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. British time while we do this all over again. I hope you all have a safe and fabulous week. Until next time, bye.